What's going on, car family? I'm Ben Wayne. Thank you for joining me in another video. Today I have my wife Aisha with me.
Hi there.
And we're going to be talking to you today about some of the differences between Bentley and Rolls-Royce. I thought I would take this opportunity because I've seen this question a lot in the comment sections, and today has been absolutely freezing, so it's too cold to film another car. So let's just talk about some of the differences we know of today. So these are two completely different brands, and a lot of people like to compare the two, but what they don't realize is that Bentley has a racing heritage behind them, which is why their cars are a bit more on the sporty side. Rolls-Royce is all about luxury, premium materials. It's all about just cruising and wafting through the streets of the city in a car like the Phantom. Bentley has a racing heritage behind them. As a matter of fact, they won Le Mans several times. I believe 1927, 1928, 1929, 1930, and again in 2003, I believe. So there's a racing heritage there. And that's part of the reason why their cars are kind of geared towards the sporty side. If you notice, a lot of the cars in the Bentley lineup, yes, they are high-end luxury vehicles, Grand Tours and such, so on and so forth, but all their cars are extremely fast as well. For example, the Bentley GT Speed, that car has a top speed of over 200 miles per hour. It's an excellent looking car, it's real sporty, and it has all the luxury characteristics of a grand touring sports car you could ever dream of.
So let's stop right there. So what you're telling me is that the Bentley is more of a daily driver versus the Rolls-Royce.
Right, you could look at it that way. What I'm saying is, when it comes to Bentley, that's more of a car that you want to drive yourself. Rolls-Royce is more of a car to be driven in.
So let me show up on the red carpet in a Rolls-Royce and let me just drive my Bentley.
Pretty much. Now, I'm not saying that you can't drive a Phantom yourself if you want to. As a matter of fact, most Phantoms sold here in America, the owners drive them themselves. But if you're in a market like China, a lot of people buy Phantoms for business cars, and those cars are often chauffeur driven, which is the reason why you see a lot more of the extended wheelbase variant Phantoms in other countries such as that. So that's a way you can kind of separate the two cars. And another thing I want to mention is that there was a time where Bentley and Rolls-Royce motor cars were made under the same roof. But then about 20 years ago, they kind of separated and went their own separate ways. So for several decades, Bentley and Rolls-Royce were putting out the same cars with just a different radiator and a different badge. They were essentially the same cars. So let's talk about where Bentley and Rolls-Royce stand today. We know back in the past that Bentley and Rolls-Royce motor cars were made essentially under the same roof and crew. BMW acquired the rights to use the Rolls-Royce name and logo back in the late 90s. I want to say it was around 1998 or something like that. So they went their separate ways. Bentley kept the original designers. They're still making their cars and crew. Rolls-Royce moved on to a new factory in Goodwood under the leadership of BMW, or the ownership of BMW, which is the reason why the design is completely different. Bentley kind of stuck with the traditional design, which is why Bentleys of today look like Rolls-Royce of the past. BMW kind of took Rolls-Royce in a different direction, which is why the design of the Rolls-Royce Phantom 8 today and the Phantom 7, which was the first Rolls-Royce that manufactured under BMW ownership, looks completely different from your traditional Rolls-Royce. Essentially, in my opinion, it looks like a block on wheels. I'm not saying it's an ugly car. The car is completely luxurious, but it doesn't look like your traditional Rolls-Royce. So, Aisha, I'm going to ask you, if you were to choose between the Rolls-Royce Phantom 8, which we just filmed at Motor Cars of Georgia, or the Bentley Mulsanne, which direction would you go in and why?
So I would go with the Bentley Mulsanne because of the body style. To me, it looks more classy as far as the shape of it. To me, it feels like more for a woman, just because of the curves and the lines of it. However, the Rolls-Royce Phantom 8 is really, really huge. It's boxy. feels like fit for more for a man, but I definitely like some of the characteristics on the inside that it has to offer. I like the starlight.
The starlight headliner.
I love that. Of course, I love an umbrella. One thing about me, I don't like to be wet. I don't like to be cold. So I like that there is always an umbrella there for me to be able to get out in the rain or stuff like that. So there's like, I feel like if I could pull pieces from both of them and then combined it, I would have like the perfect car.
Well, I would say Rolls-Royce is a bit more formal. I like the way the car looks. It's not the prettiest car, but I think it's designed to have a huge presence as soon as you see it.
Yeah, I feel like people will gawk more at a Rolls-Royce than a Bentley. I say that because like you don't see them that often. I feel like the Bentley is in a different category. Not that it is more affordable. Like more people can obtain a Bentley versus a Rolls-Royce because the price are different.
They're both still up there,
right. It's not like the average person is gonna say, "Hey, I'm gonna go grab a Bentley today."
Right.
But I feel like it's more obtainable than the Rolls-Royce.
Right. And I want to say this: a lot of the features you find in a Rolls-Royce are in a Bentley. For example, you talked about the umbrellas and the reversed hinge coach doors. In a Bentley Mulsanne, the umbrellas are located in the trunk. So the different features are executed differently in both cars. A lot of them share the same features, but as far as customization is concerned and the different luxury characteristics of a car, Rolls-Royce kind of takes it to another level. Bentley, again, has that more sporty appeal, but Rolls-Royce takes it to another level, such as having a gold-plated Spirit of Ecstasy or the new gallery area in the Phantom 8, which is fully customizable. You can have artwork designed specifically for that gallery to be placed in the car. So there are different qualities of each vehicle that make them just two completely different cars. In my opinion, I really don't think people should compare a Bentley Mulsanne to a Rolls-Royce Phantom 8. They're just two different cars. I would even go as far as to say they're for two different customers. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
The level of customization is just, in a Rolls-Royce, is completely unmatched. I'm not saying Bentley doesn't have different levels of customization, but Rolls-Royce, it's literally anything you can think of. You can design art for your car and have it placed in your car. That's completely crazy.
So I can like have shoes and makeup and things.
Okay. Yes, I guess if that's what you wanted to do, you could incorporate that in the car. Now, one more thing I want to mention is that I did mention that we're driving in a Bentley Bentayga. This is Bentley's first entry into the SUV market. And of course, they've executed it extremely well with the help of the Volkswagen Group. But Rolls-Royce is also getting ready to submit their first entry. I believe it's going to be called the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. And it looks like that's going to have reverse hinge coach doors as well. But I expect the Cullinan to be a completely different vehicle than the Bentayga. Again, the Bentayga is an extremely quick and fast SUV, but the Cullinan, just like other Rolls-Royce cars, is going to be designed for more of a cruiser type, more wafting through the city. Just a classic Rolls-Royce smooth ride.
So I can't do off-roading in it?
I would not suggest off-roading in a Rolls-Royce Cullinan.
But that's what I feel like is the major selling point for a Bentayga, because there's so many SUVs out here on the street. I mean, who wouldn't want to be in a Bentley Bentayga? But the simple fact that when our snow apocalypse hits here in Georgia, it's like the only car that you are going to be able to drive on the street during that time.
Okay, there are other SUVs that are more affordable than the Bentayga. It's the only car that you want to be driving in. There are other cars that can off-road. Jeep, you can get a Jeep Wrangler.
No.
Okay.
It's not going to do. Not here in Georgia.
You're spoiled, see? You're spoiled. So Rolls-Royce is getting ready to have their first entry to the SUV market. As soon as that car becomes available, I will go out my way to make sure that we can take a look at that vehicle. So in closing, the difference between Bentley and Rolls-Royce is that Bentley has more of a sports appeal, and Rolls-Royce is the ultimate statement in luxury automobiles to date. They essentially were coming out of the same household at a certain period of time, but now they have gone their separate ways. But you can still see traces of the lineage. For example, if you go in a Rolls-Royce, you'll notice that the air conditioning vents, the design is practically the same. Small little hints of the past are located in both cars, but the cars are two very different vehicles. I enjoy them both. I like them both. Personally, if I had to go with one to daily drive, I would probably go with a Bentley Mulsanne Speed. I love that car. But the Phantom 8, which we just took a look at, that car is amazing as well. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Which car would you choose? Which brand do you prefer? And I guess we'll talk to you in the next one. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, like, and share, and we will talk to you in the next video. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.